As a Camden resident for more than 3 years, and a music lover and someone who plays guitar myself, I'd like to share my experiences with buskers and advocate for a strong policy that prioritizes Camden residents. Although I welcome the introduction of a policy to regulate busking, I am concerned that this policy might legitimize the very thing disturbing residents. I'm concerned that buskers will pay their £19 and think they're then free to do what they want 11 hours a day, 365 days a year. Some sort of system for dealing with buskers is necessary, but not a system that functions as a blank check. The policy must be backed up with robust processes for Camden residents to have those buskers who are causing a nuisance stopped. Camden Council must prioritize Camden residents, as we are the group most affected by this issue. While tourists and visitors come, enjoy the borough, and go, I and other residents are trapped, a captive audience for whatever type of music buskers decide to force upon us. To demonstrate why strong action by the Council is necessary, I'd like to examine some of the statements submitted by buskers through the consultation in comparison with the day-to-day realities of living in Camden. One of the buskers' primary arguments is that Camden Council is destroying the musical heritage of Camden. This statement seems to reduce Camden's musical heritage to street entertainment alone. In fact, I think Camden's numerous pubs, clubs, and other venues have a greater claim on its musical heritage. If people want to hear live music in Camden, there are countless venues they can go to. Likewise, if musicians want people to hear their music, they have many options of venues to perform at, to a willing audience who wants to hear music, rather than a captive audience being forced to listen to music. Some comments say that this policy would violate buskers' human rights, or that it would prevent buskers from expressing themselves, or from sharing their art with the world. But limiting busking leaves many responsible options available to musicians. I play guitar myself, and if I want to express myself, I can play in my own home or rent a rehearsal space. If I want to share my music with others, I can invite some friends over, or arrange a gig at one of Camden's many music venues, or perform at an open mic night, or turn to the internet. I've often seen comments by buskers saying that they are providing free entertainment, or providing a service to the community. But music is varied, and in a borough as diverse as Camden, residents have diverse musical tastes. These comments by buskers seem to indicate that everyone will be grateful for their music at any potential time, when the truth is that whatever genre of music you're playing, no matter how good you think you are, some people are not going to like it, and others might like it, but might not want to hear it at this precise moment. So I find it wholly inaccurate to say that in camping out outside my flat for 11 hours, playing the same 3 songs on a loop, you're providing me with a service. I think people in Camden should be allowed to decide what sort of entertainment they want and when they want it and seek it out for themselves. Other comments I've seen from buskers include, we are cheering people up, bringing a smile to people's faces. To the buskers who really think that, I wish you could see the face of my disabled flatmate when I come home from work and he tells me he spent the past 10 hours enduring music from a busker outside. Most of the time, he's unable to leave the house. Our home is his refuge, and to have a busker violate that, frankly, infuriates me. Buskers in my area are quite literally inconsiderate. They're just not taking into account the feelings of Camden residents. Camden is a diverse borough, and its residents have a variety of concerns. For example, there are families with young children. There are also people in social housing who may not be able to easily move homes if the noise bothers them. People have different and often complex reasons for why they live in the borough, but no matter why they live here, they should be entitled to the peaceful enjoyment of their own homes. I've encountered a great variety of buskers over the past couple years, but the one thing they've all had in common is that none of them have moved on or turned their music down when I've politely asked them to. I have always been met either with outright hostility or complete indifference. Since I've experienced a total lack of self-regulation from buskers, I have some concerns as to how the policy will be carried out. First, the Code of Conduct, which is described as voluntary on page 3. But the standard conditions then say license holders must adhere to the Code of Conduct. This must be cleared up. Without a mandatory Code of Conduct, the policy is useless, as buskers will be able to claim that if they paid for a license, they can do as they please. Second, this policy must address the nuisance caused by accordions, which aren't specifically mentioned in the current terms. Accordions have been a huge problem in my area, as they're not loud enough to require amplification, but these buskers stay in one place for extremely long hours. My last concern regards enforcement. It's not stated what recourse residents will have for buskers who violate the Code of Conduct. For instance, if we should call the police or the council or another body. This policy is only viable if there is a 24-hour solution available to residents where they report the violation and someone quickly arrives to deal with the problem. I ask the licensing committee to make the mechanisms of enforcement clear to residents now so we can determine whether or not they are adequate. Thank you.